In today's Community Focus, I go one-on-one with Rhode Island DOT Director Peter Alviti, bringing him your questions about the Washington Bridge. Take a listen. In the short term, even if there is no definitive timeline, what is the plan to try and alleviate traffic right now?
Very good question. We've got several engineering companies working on just that, precisely that. What kind of interim measures can we put in place by using other infrastructure that's available on the eastbound bridge, which, let's make sure everybody understands, the eastbound part of the Washington Bridge was only built about 15 years ago. It's a modern bridge. It's in good shape. We're looking at ways to utilize that more effectively to maybe open up additional lanes there.
So just to pause you for a second, the eastbound side of the bridge, completely different structure.
Yes, it
When
is.
you're talking about repairing, replacing, rebuilding, you're not talking about the eastbound side, just the westbound side.
Just the westbound side. Now, why back 15 years ago when they did the eastbound side, didn't they do the westbound side? I'm sure it was a question of money and finance and everything, but we've solved that now. We've solved that portion, and we're going ahead and we're going to make the westbound side as good and modern, or even more modern than the eastbound side. So we have people looking at ways of the approach on the westbound approach to see if there are ways that we can reconfigure lanes and traffic on the westbound approach to this to have people move through that congestion a little more freely.
And how quickly could those measures be put into place? Days, weeks?
Some of them you may see evolve in the next week or two, and some will take longer, but we're looking at short, near-term, and longer-term solutions to the problem.
I think people are wondering, how did the bridge go from looking seemingly just fine during an inspection over the summer to now we're talking about potentially having to tear it down?
Yep. So likewise, we've got a separate team of forensic engineers looking into that question to help us understand how the history evolved up to this point. But forward-looking, it's, as I said, how do we fix it, and why is it that complex? Well, it's the westbound portion of the Washington Bridge is some 18 different bridges that are all together. It's not just a simple bridge. It's a very complex bridge, and it's not one that is just going 20 feet above the road below it. There's an 80-foot difference between it and the water below it. So we have a water body with piers that are in the water, and a bridge that is composed of about 18 normal highway bridges into one bridge. So it's extremely complex, but as our engineers are looking at it, much like a doctor looks at a patient, if there are other things that they find, that's their purpose, to find that.
So is it fair to say they uncovered worse issues, bigger problems than just the pins?
Yeah, I mean, we've said that now for the last couple of weeks, that as they are doing their diagnosis, they're finding other things.
When I went on Twitter and I said I would be sitting down with you, one of the top responses I got was, "It's time for you to step down." What do you say to people who have lost confidence in you as a leader?
I ask them to be patient. Look, I don't respond to Twitter, and I don't respond to any of the social media. I respond to facts. I'm here as an engineer, as a director, and my job is to keep people safe and to build bridges. During the last 8 years, we've built at DOT over 300 bridges, correcting many bridges like the one that we're currently doing. And we corrected them, and we'll get this one correct.
And we'll have more from our conversation with the director on WPRI.com. And be sure to stay with 12 News for continuing coverage of the bridge breakdown. Coming up at 4:30, we'll hear more from Governor Dan McKee about the latest issues with the bridge. And you can stay up to date every step of the way on WPRI.com.